is Friday, May 30th, just after 7:30, back on trail. It was a busy night at the shelter last night. Saw Axeman, I haven't seen him in a long time. He's been off trail for a couple of weeks, I guess, visiting family. Gatlinburg Gina was there. I haven't seen her in forever. Let's see, Stick was there. Three other guys, a man and his grandson. Lots of people tenting or hammocking. And see that? There's shadows. The sunshine, at least to start the day. There it is. We'll take it. Headed to the Shenandoah National Park today, about 5 miles away. Excited about that. Should have some decent views today, providing the sun stays out. Seems like a lot of the fog has dissipated. Might be a little hazy, hot, and humid today, but that's okay too. Climbing my way out from the shelter, back up to a little elevation. Looks like probably a 12.5 mile day. I think it's Calf Mountain Shelter. It's the southernmost shelter in the Shenandoah National Park. I have my permit on my phone electronically. $15. The next shelter after the Calf Mountain one, I believe, there's another 13. That would make me a 25-mile day. And being in the park, you can only tent at regular tenting spots or at the shelter. So stealth camping is not allowed. So it looks like I'll reevaluate when I get to the shelter, but 25 seems a little bit excessive to me for today, but I don't know if there's any other campsites. After, I'll check things out at lunchtime and see how I'm doing. We haven't had a morning like this in like 4 or 5 days. bunch of view spots today, so looking forward to that. I can probably take my sweet time today, no real rush. I was just ready early, so I decided I'd head out, carrying my poles. Hoping for no more. Ooh, there is some fog out there, or low cloud, I should say. Fun fact, his wife made it home safely last night. All right, I'm gonna let you go, and I'll keep you updated on how the day progresses. Lots of bushes in the trail this morning. All right, I'll catch up with you in a little bit. An old cemetery here, a Lowe family cemetery. There is some etchings on some of these stones. Very difficult to read. Somebody planted some flowers here. Rose Lee Phillips, November 4th, 1934 to July 1st, 2016. Wells Sheffield Funeral Chapel, Livingston, Virginia. All kinds of little stones out here. I don't know. I can't really read it. And some of that may have just come off. There's another stone back there. Another stone over there. 8/10 of a mile into my hike. I don't know what the history is there. Well, there was probably a homestead here somewhere. It's kind of flattish up at this elevation. But there it is, Low Family Cemetery. I knew that was coming up too, so I wanted to make sure I at least stopped in there to see it. Makes your mind wonder and wander. No other history unless there's something on the Far Out app. There might be. I'll check that out in a little bit. All right, should be some views today too, so. All right, I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Talk to you soon. Friday, May 30th, about 8:40. Come across the W.J. Mayo home place. There's the foundation. And what's left of the foundation. And a mortarless fireplace. Right there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Another homestead up here. Guessing that's what the Lowe family also had, a homestead up here. It's just like, there's the Appalachian Trail. And there's the homestead. It's actually quite steep behind that. Not quite as steep on the other side here, but because I get thinking about crops and, raising crops and things like that, the gardens and some of the hillsides are pretty steep. I'm sure they managed to find a spot. Some of these homesteads were really big too. It's not just what's right, right next to where the house was, so. Hurdle for this morning. I've been seeing some deer prints in the trail along the way here. We are getting closer to the Shenandoah, so kind of hoping I've seen a bunch of deer so far, but I haven't I saw a video of a bear cub that was right over the bank from where we were, but eating lunch one day. And Princess Peach got it on film and was able to see that. Well, I was hoping to find another deer print here somewhere, but not having any luck with that. So All right, an hour into the day already. We've seen family cemetery and an old homestead. History, history, history. Keeps my mind active. All right, I'll let you go, and I'll talk to you soon. Friday, May 30th, summit of Little Calf Mountain. It is about 20 minutes to 2. The AT goes this way, but here's our views. The next one to climb today is going to be Calf Mountain. That'll be the final one for the day, as the shelter is on the back side of that mountain. Not really sure how far it is from here, but we just got some serious dark clouds, and I couldn't see the town down there. It was like a sheet headed this way, and I don't know what happened. I don't want to say it out loud, but man, I was, ouch, pleasantly surprised that I only got a little bit of rain. I'm glad it didn't like open up here on top of the, well, I still got one more to go, don't I? That's all right. That was a fun little mountain. Nothing much, nothing too serious. All right, I'm gonna boogie it to Calf Mountain, and I'll see you up there. Shouldn't take too long, I hope. Friday, May 30th. There's the summit marker for Calf Mountain. I am now 7/10 of a mile from the shelter, and it's hard to see, but I got some really dark clouds. I've escaped somehow. Thankfully, I stopped and put my rat pack cover on and put my raincoat on and darted into the woods. I'm hoping to find a dense cover in there somewhere, but it just kind of, I don't know what happened. I guess it all rained out before I got here. I don't know. I'm not to the shelter yet, so the game is still on. So I don't want to push my luck. So I'm gonna try to hoof it along here. Let's see where I'm at. There we go. It's easier to carry my poles than it is to try to use them while I'm videoing. Yeah, 7/10 of a mile. So I'm hoping I get there. I mean, my shoes are a little bit wet because the grass and everything got wet. And the leaves and stuff. My coat isn't too bad. It's a little bit, got some moisture on it, but nothing compared to a few days before. The shorts are still fairly dry. I think it's downhill to the shelter. The AT is kind of downhill to the shelter entrance. And then from the shelter entrance down to the shelter, it is another 3/10 of a mile down. So tomorrow morning I'll have to start my day with a 3/10 of a mile to get back to the trail. I should add all those up sometime. See how many extra miles. I mean, I even hit the one that was 6/10 of a mile off the trail. That was insane. Anyway, when I'm done, I'm done. I got to make it to the shelters, so, or stealth camp somewhere. So, and I thought about doing that tonight too, but the water sources are just not here. So I'm down to 3/4 of a bottle, which is fine. That's plenty of water for right now. I'll make sure I fill up good tomorrow before I leave. I think the water source for the shelter is on the way to the shelter. I'll check that out again before I pass it, because I don't want to have to go back. I'd rather carry my 2 full water bottles and my CNOC full than have to go back again for water. So got that down to a science pretty much. Usually I have 1 full bottle of water, which I fill up my pot with for my supper. And then I fill up my 2 bottles and the CNOC. And that's enough. It gets me to breakfast, through my breakfast, and 2 full bottles to start the day. So tonight's going to be a little bit different because I've had to drink out of my 2nd bottle today. It was pretty warm, so I kept myself hydrated. The terrain was not terrible. Actually, it was pretty good. I know I got Axe is behind me somewhere. I was just leaving the one gap after having my lunch when he came in the other side. I told him, I said, I just sat here for about an hour having my lunch. He said, I plan on doing the same thing. So he's back there somewhere. Hopefully he was spared. I seriously considered, because there was 4 outhouses in that parking lot, and it was looking really, really, really nasty. And I really, oh gosh, I considered going into the outhouse to weather out the storm, but I'm not sure I could stand that, so I decided to get wet if necessary. So that's good. I didn't have to do that. My clothes are, other than being a little sweaty from the heat today, it's not too bad. I really would like to take this raincoat off, but there's still a lot of threatening clouds around. And I'll make it the last little bit to the shelter and take off my sneakers, and hopefully they dry overnight. They're not sopping wet, but I can feel it through my socks, so which means they're wet. All right. I'll let you know when I get to the shelter. I don't know who's going to be around, but I'll find out when I get there. Talk to you soon. Friday, May 30th. I'm at the Calf Mountain Shelter in the Shenandoah National Park. It's the southernmost shelter. It's actually just outside of the Shenandoah line, but they consider it the southernmost shelter. It's just off the trail far enough to it didn't quite make the cut, I guess, but I'm still here. So this morning started out beautiful. I got an early start on trail today. Had a couple little climbs in the morning and really wasn't anything overly strenuous. But 0.8 of a mile into it, there was an old cemetery which I made a video on. It wasn't that much further up the trail after that. There was a foundation and what was left of a stone fireplace. So, homestead up there. I think it was a Mayo homestead. And the cemetery was a Lowe family cemetery. So anyway, the day was gorgeous. I took my time. I entered the Shenandoah National Park. Had a little trail magic in the parking lot where a family came and gave me a giant chocolate chip cookie. So it was a nice trail magic because I needed a break and I needed a snack. So it worked out perfectly. It's a little windy here tonight, so there's tornado watches through 8 o'clock tonight. So I'm kind of watching where I'm going here. Sometimes the wind's blowing pretty hard. So entering the Shenandoah National Park started right off with trail magic, which was super great. And then I meandered through, and it seemed to me that the trail was more twisty and turny than a lot of the other trails that we've been on, at least this far. So they just seemed to wind around things. So I don't know. That's something I noticed today. On the way to the shelter tonight, I took a little side trail where it said view or something, and got out there, and you really had to zoom in from. It wasn't easy to video. I had to zoom way in and so forth, and then found out that I'm standing near a bunch of fire ants. So yeah, day 2. Yesterday was the day of the inchworms, and today was the day of the fire ants. There was a lot of them. I didn't get bitten, but thankfully. I did have spray on myself too, that DEET that I put on. Yeah, so trying to think of what my favorite part of today was. I did see a lot of flowers and stuff today too. Some that are getting there but aren't ready to open yet. So, but it's been really cold. So the last few days were chilly. I have my puffy on tonight and my wind pants. So you can hear and see. But we still got sunshine over there right at the moment. So it's gotten really threatening here a few times tonight, and then that seems to go by again. So we were really lucky. I only got sprinkled on a little bit today. So I was prepared to be soaked. So I was taking my sweet time and looking at everything. And yeah, then the rain decided that it was going to come. So I had to hurry up the end of my day, but it's okay. I'm here, I'm dry. So I'm at the Calf Mountain Shelter, the two mountains that we climbed to get to here was Little Calf Mountain and then Calf Mountain. And this is the Calf Mountain shelter. Axe is here again tonight. And two other guys, three other people actually. One's a section hiker and the other two are through hiking. So. All right, well, I'm going to let you go. That's a wrap for today. I'm going to go hang my food bag on the pole and we'll go from there. Have a good night.